Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to today's Pick a Card reading. Today we're looking into the energy of the person on your mind, their energy towards you right now, and we have 4 piles to choose from, pile 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you would like to enter the giveaway to win a 1-question personal reading with me, you can find all the information on that in the description box below. It's still going on until the 11th of November, so yeah. And I think that's all I have to say, so I will leave you to focus on which deck cost you the most, and I will see you soon. Hello, my beautiful pile ones, and welcome to your reading. We are starting with some oracle cards that I already pulled, and I'm gonna leave this one for last. So let's see, we have number 11, Pluto Transformation. We have number 12, Black Moon Lilith Mystery. We have the first quarter. We have the last quarter. Scorpio energy could be significant. We have number 32, Time Out. We have it's time to release negativity, full moon in Scorpio. So we have double Scorpio energy. We have Hold Your Vision, Fixed Moon, Creativity, and Space. I want to switch these around. I'm getting very strong separation energy from this. You could be in no contact with this person as well. It doesn't feel like there is a whole lot of communication here between the two of you. It feels like they don't quite know where you stand, and especially where you stand with them and with this connection. They seem to be taking responsibility for past actions and how they showed up in this connection. They seem a bit disappointed in themselves as well, and how they may have reacted to certain things, especially the intimate energy in this connection. Because it feels quite intense. Their feelings for you and their energy towards you, it all feels very intense. But it also feels like it may have triggered certain shadows in this person, things that they were putting off facing, or things that they were already facing, but not to this extent, not at this level of depth. And as intense and incredible as this connection seems to have been for them, it also feels like it was difficult and challenging because it was triggering a lot of thoughts and beliefs and habits. And it feels like they may have acted from a place of fear in the past when it comes to this connection. They may have run because it was too intense or they weren't ready. It feels a bit like a case of too much too soon. Like you met at a time where this person wasn't looking for anything. Maybe you weren't either. And it feels like things just never quite aligned or fell together. But you may have experienced a lot of synchronicities within this connection, because there is a very strong connection here that they feel towards you at the very least. But I think for most of you, it's a mutual thing. But let's get into this person's energy more. I think right now they're looking back on this connection a lot and assessing and reassessing and reconsidering their past actions, how they have showed up in this connection. And there is a bit of shame and a bit of guilt coming through as well. Like you would judge them for how they acted, even though they know you're compassionate, they know you've been genuine with them, they know you've been nothing but kind with them. But I think because they're so harsh with their own self, they kind of expect or think that you should be too. And this isn't because of how you've acted towards them or because of your personality, I think. It feels more like it's just how they think things should be. They may have certain ideas around how things should be, how things should be done. They may be very strict and a little bit stubborn when it comes to their perspective, which is why I think it's difficult for them to let go of their self-limiting beliefs as well, which they seem to have really projected into this connection. For example, this could have been a case of, I never have good things in my life. I can never make good things work. I always destroy them. And then eventually acting in a way that aligns with these thoughts, because if we just keep telling ourselves something like this, that we destroy every good thing that comes our way, then it's very difficult to not be affected by it. Your own inner voice is the one voice that can speak to you at all times, and if it's just saying negative things about you and about what you can do, it's difficult to ignore that. And it feels like they kind of dug themselves a hole and they couldn't see a way out anymore. And it also feels like their perspective may have created additional obstacles between the two of you for some of you. Like maybe one example that's coming to mind is maybe this person felt like they needed to find themselves, they needed to go somewhere else, they wanted to travel, and then the obstacle this could have created would be more distance between the two of you. You could have already been at a long distance with this Six of Swords energy coming through as well. But essentially, I think this also refers to how their energy seems to be flighty and not very grounded. This is someone who's trying to figure out who they are, someone who's trying to figure out their own path, and someone who is really trying to heal. But then it also feels like they're holding themselves captive with their own thoughts. They're really limiting what they're able to do and the kind of connections that they're able to have. And this is not your responsibility. And it's not because you did something wrong or you didn't convince them enough or you didn't make them feel safe or any of these things. It all comes down to them and their perspective. And because their energy is coming through so stubborn as well, it really feels like it wasn't the right time for them, and that nothing you could have done would have changed that. And this situation feels very bittersweet because I think this is someone who really, really, really cares about you and really values you and really wanted the best for you. This is someone who thinks you deserve the world, but someone who also feels that they wouldn't be able to give that to you. One thing, though, is I don't think this person has given up on this connection, and I don't think they've given up on you, but it feels far away. Like there is either too much distance between the two of you, physical or emotional, or too many obstacles that they don't know how to face yet. With this creativity card, it feels like any old way that was available to this person, any path that led to you in the past, doesn't lead to you anymore. So they're going to have to come up with a new solution. They're going to have to change something. They're going to have to change their strategy, their approach. Because it also feels like you've moved further away from them, whether this is emotionally, physically, mentally. So it feels like there is more distance to cover now. And I think this person is really overthinking about everything. but especially about how they showed up in this connection and how it wasn't really what they wanted. Let's get into the tarot. Oh, I forgot about this card. Let's put these away and let's see what this says. I was supposed to already look at this, like, after I finished putting all the cards. But anyway, let's see what we have. What you are today was greatly influenced by your past thoughts and attitudes, and your present thoughts and attitudes are the building blocks of your tomorrow. Therefore, be mindful and aware of your thoughts. Positive thoughts now will help create a brighter future because every thought is a seed. If you plant weeds, you can't expect to harvest beautiful flowers. This message for me ties back to having self-limiting beliefs, especially this person and their self-limiting beliefs that may have been projected into this connection in the past, where they felt like they couldn't do it, or they don't deserve it, or they're just not ready, they can't, they'll ruin it. It feels like there was a lot of overthinking, and eventually, inevitably, they listened to their own voice, and they may have acted in ways that were basically this person sabotaging the connection, not because they didn't want the connection, but because I think they were too afraid to lose it, which may not make a lot of sense, but anxieties and fears are not often rational. I think this person was coming from a very emotional space, and they tried to rationalize their approach. They tried to make things seem more rational, and it feels like it kind of backfired in a way where they were still deciding emotionally, especially if they chose to walk away, because it seems to have come from a place of, we would both be hurt in the future anyway, so I may as well just control the outcome now and walk away. And it doesn't have to be such a direct thought in this way, but subconsciously they may have acted in ways that fit into this narrative, where they pulled themselves away to protect you and them from further damage in the future, the potential of damage in the future. I completely lost what I was saying right now. Let's get into the tarot. Okay, I completely spaced out. And while we are having a little shuffle break, I will remind you that the giveaway is still going on. If you would like to enter, all you have to do is comment on this video or any of the other videos I posted since I announced the giveaway. Personal readings are also available. You can find all the information for that in the description box below, same as all the information on the giveaway. So let's see. We have the Seven of Cups. There are a lot of what ifs and should've, could've, would've, couldn't have, must have. A lot of these thoughts in this person's mind about this connection and about their own behavior especially. We have the Three of Cups, the Eight of Wands in reverse. We have the Three of Wands. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. This is is giving very strong travel energy or long distance energy, though that won't be the case for everyone, but I think it's definitely the case for some because it is repeatedly coming through. It feels like you've pushed this person far enough out of their comfort zone, but not in an unsafe way. Like you've given them an opportunity to do this safely, but they were too scared to be on the edge of their comfort zone this much. This could be tied to trauma from their childhood as well, a feeling of maybe deep down feeling like they can't be truly vulnerable or they can't truly express their feelings because of how the other person may react. They may have had an emotionally unavailable parent, or a parent who really deeply disappointed them, or a parent figure. With the Seven of Cups and the Three of Cups, I'm getting a lot of escapist energy as well. So they could have used, or they could use substances or habits, behaviors to distract themselves from what they are actually feeling on the inside. There's a lot of numbing. There's a lot of putting things on a shelf, but at the same time, dealing with it, but in like pauses, in little, it almost feels like they, you know how some people study like one night before an exam and don't do anything at all the rest of the time? I feel like this person is like, they're kind of doing that. They don't face certain perspectives or beliefs they have, or wounds, unless it becomes absolutely necessary, which, depending on the situation that you are in, for some of you, this person may not have had to do a lot of work on themselves yet, or they may have just been able to escape from the workload. And it's not because this person doesn't want to take responsibility. I think it feels more like they just keep telling themselves that they're not ready, that they're too afraid. It's kind of a mixed energy, like they're somewhere in between. So maybe they're trying to decide the best course of action on their own path for their own self as well. I think they're just quite confused and very much in their head right now, both about their own self and this connection and possibly most other things in their life. It really feels like gateway energy, like they know they're about to transform, they know they need to go somewhere, but they haven't decided where or how and when. We have the Nine of Swords, which I thought was a Ten of Swords. This whole time it was in my hand. I'm hearing, it's not now or never. Wait 10 years, we'll be together. This is a lyric from The Less I Know the Better classic by Tame Impala. If you want to check it out, you can. But time also seems to be a big thing here, because their feelings for you have not faded, but they also seem to not be taking a whole lot of initiative to change the situation right now as we speak. We have the Page of Swords. I heard busy bee. I think they're keeping themselves busy. And I do think there is willingness here to work on themselves. I'm really drawn to how the page here is staring at these 9 swords, and we have the 10th sword here. And it almost feels like the 10 of swords gives me like self-sabotage, it's over, it's done, it is ruined energy. But it almost feels like a process of working backwards with their thoughts. Again, rearranging, reassessing, reconsidering. But this feels like a lot to deal with. So that's why I think the energy is coming through very slowly. They seem to be working through it very slowly by taking a lot of breaks in between. We have the 9 of Wands. Very interesting. And I'm not sure what else this could mean other than progress and progression, and things are moving, but maybe in a 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of way. Because look, we have the 3 of Wands, the 4 of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and 9 of Wands. We don't have the 9 and the 10 of Swords, but it kind of felt like we did. And in the beginning, we had 11 and 12 and the first and the last quarters. So there's something about steps and movement happening, but maybe very slowly, and sometimes forward, sometimes backwards. Capricorn energy could be significant with the Devil. I'm also getting Pisces energy and Leo and Scorpio. And we have the 10 of Pentacles. This is someone who feels like they're kind of floating. And this again brings me back to this energy of needing to make decisions, needing to figure things out, needing to figure out where to ground themselves. They really miss you though. But there just seem to be certain habits and thoughts that they have a very difficult time shaking off. I cut the deck and we have the 9 of Cups and the Queen of Wands. This person sees you as a muse. Still, no matter where you may be, they may also be expressing themselves creatively in some sense. We also had creativity in your oracle cards, and this is giving me the sense that they may make art inspired by you. They may make music inspired by you. I just saw 2222 on the time as well. They feel very responsible for how things played out between the two of you. But I think they confuse their own self as well with their own thoughts and all these thoughts about what if and all these scenarios about how things could go wrong. I think they're just really having a difficult time in their own mind. But honestly, I don't think it's something that they won't be able to figure out. It just feels like there is a lot of work to do, but this feels like someone who is willing to take responsibility. But the one thing that I think blocks them the most is how harsh they are with their own self, even though I think generally they're someone who's very compassionate. I think they're just disappointed in themselves. And they feel like they have disappointed you too. So there's a sense that they don't quite know how you think about them right now. Now let's get some channeled messages. To see what they would say to you, if they could say anything at all. And then we will get some advice. I'm also considering doing extended readings, not for this video yet, but in general. So if you have any opinions on that, let me know. Because I kind of want to go more into the messages and kind of look at different aspects of the same energy as well. But I feel like on YouTube it's kind of a mix with people wanting either very short readings or like I'm just trying to find a middle ground essentially, but I would like to give extended readings a go, I think. But anyway, we have you know that I am not the one for you. This is giving me the energy of you deserve the world, but I can't give it to you. How did we get here? I heard I'm trying to protect you. I just dropped a bunch of cards, so I'm going to pick them up. Only one of them flipped, so we'll take that one. And it is I daydream about you. Let go of the past. I heard, will you forgive me? This isn't over, there is more to come. I also heard, I want to rewrite. And we can't really change the past, but we can add more to the story and change the current ending. And I think that this person knows that too. So I don't think it's necessarily that they want you to forget everything that happened, because I do think they kind of want to be held accountable for it. We have I was stupid. I'm realizing that now. I love our friendship. For some of you, this may be about a friend. But it could also just be about, which is why I kind of, we also have I love you. There are only 2 messages with hearts in this deck, and you got both of them. But I put this card in essentially to also signify when a romantic connection was built on a friendship first, or I also use this as a means to, that sentence was not good. I also take this to mean like that someone misses or like likes the conversations, the playfulness, kind of just energies I associate with friendships and trust and all of these things. Because it feels like if this is a romantic connection, that it wasn't just a case of being lovers, but you were also friends, like companions. And I think that is how relationships should be. I mean, to each their own, of course, but I think being friends with your partner is also important. That it's not just about the romance or the sex but anyway, I don't know why I'm rambling so much about this. Maybe for some of you this was a crush or someone that just got very nervous around you as well. Because I almost feel nervous, but it's not me. I'm pretty used to speaking on camera by now. So it's not me. I'm not nervous, but We also have I want a new beginning. Bottom deck energy is you're on my mind right now. You're on my mind all the time. Let's get some advice. I'm hearing Eventually by Tame Impala as well. We have trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Gratitude. I'm thankful for this life and the opportunities that it presents. Regardless of where this situation goes, I think it's important to accept it and accept the past for what it was. But for some of you, you may be intuitively picking up on some kind of shift in the energies. And if you are, I think you can trust that voice. I'm seeing this image of a big grounded tree with like very deep roots and a silhouette just walking towards the tree. And it's making me think of, I feel like you're the tree. And maybe you've been really working on yourself, working on grounding yourself, working on connecting with yourself, working on your relationship with yourself, which is beautiful. It's an absolutely beautiful energy. And it feels like it's causing shifts. And like you're becoming so magnetic that you're just attracting effortlessly. But we also have courage. I find the inner strength to face fear with confidence, which I think essentially is what you've both had to do in this connection, because if it has been the triggering aspect of it, it doesn't feel like it was just on this person's end. It feels quite mutual in that sense as well. I cut the deck and we have blame. I accept responsibility for my well-being. And is there one more that wants to come through? Very random, but windmills might be significant. Or Miller, like the last name. Or maybe the name. We also have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. I think essentially you're both becoming very independent and confident, but in your own ways, in your own path. I just saw 3333. But maybe you've moved faster than this person has. It's kind of the impression that this is giving me. But yes, this is all I have for you. I hope this was helpful. I am sending you lots of love. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile twos, and welcome to your reading. We are starting with some oracle cards. I also feel like mentioning France, so maybe that's significant to someone. But yeah, let's see. We have Cancer, I feel, number 16. We have Moon Soul. So Cancer energy could be significant, but it doesn't have to be. We have movement. We have sadness. We have number 3, be fearless. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. Step out of your comfort zone. North node, we have the full moon and we have the 11th house. Aquarius energy could also be significant. They're sad about this situation and about what last went down between the two of you. I can see this playing out in two main ways. You could be in separation from this person and you could have recently broken up. Well, not even necessarily recently, but the separation has really affected this person and they seem to be in a very emotional space right now. It really feels like they are in their feelings and they're unable to shake themselves out of it. But it also feels like they're trying to get themselves out of this energy of grief as quickly as possible. But they also seem to have recognition that it's not going to be so easy to shake this off. This separation or conflict. Because the second way I see this happening could be that you are going through a rough patch with this person and they're having a difficult time processing it and they're having a difficult time dealing with it. They really care about you. This is someone who loves you and who sees or has seen a future with you. This is someone who is dreaming of a future with you, but at the same time, it feels so far away. So that's why it feels like their dreams were kind of destroyed as a result of a big conflict or a big separation. They want to reconcile whatever. Let me start a sentence again, because to me, it doesn't feel like they're in a place where they're able to reconcile with you right now. This may be due to external circumstances, or maybe you've just made a decision to have no contact with each other for a while, or maybe it's just been way too long and they feel like they can't contact you at this point in time. But there is an energy of wanting things to be back to the way that they were. There is a lot of longing. There is a lot of nostalgia. There is a lot of missing what once was and missing what could have been. This person is, I think, at a really heightened state of just feeling a lot of things, feeling a lot of overwhelming emotions all at the same time. And they seem to be struggling with expressing themselves as well. It all seems muddled. It feels very jumbled and all. It feels exhausting as well. Like this person is trying to figure out the best way, the best course of action to make themselves feel better, but right now they seem to just be sitting with their feelings, which is actually, I think, a good thing. Even though these are not positive feelings that they're dealing with, it's better than repressing the feelings. And it just feels like they are really, really in their feelings. It's hard to even like push through it as I'm speaking. There is an energy of feeling a bit paralyzed and a bit stuck with the current circumstances that they're in. Like they want to change it, but they don't know how. This person is trying to figure out what they need to learn from this situation and from the experience they had with you, or what they can take from the conflict you had, or what they can take from this separation. They're trying to use this as an opportunity to learn, but I think first they are just having to feel their feelings, because it's not time. It's not, it feels like they're just not ready to look at the bigger picture yet. It feels like they are focused and hurt by the details, so they're not able to take a step back from this situation yet. And take a step back from their reaction, or take a step back from the grief. They may be having difficulty accepting all of these emotions, especially if they're not very emotionally expressive in general. I'm also getting Pisces energy. As a side note, that could be significant, but it doesn't have to be. For some of you, this person could be keeping an eye on your social media. I think they're having a difficult time kind of just focusing on their own self right now, even though they realize that that's what they should be doing. And for some of you, this wave of grief could have arrived in this person's energy after a long time of just not dealing with things, because this inherently feels like something that this person is not used to. It feels like an energy that this person is just not used to. So they don't quite know what to make of it or how to deal with all of these feelings. Let's read what your card says before I forget. I almost forgot for pile 1. You are currently too close to see things clearly. Detach a little and you will start to see things from a higher perspective. By emotionally detaching from this situation, a simple solution also becomes clear. This is definitely not where this person is at right now. I don't think they have emotionally detached from anything or any of this. And I think it's better that they are feeling their feelings and just sitting with them instead of immediately trying to rationalize the situation or immediately trying to come up with a logical closure statement and putting it away, because I think there is a lot to feel here, and I think this is someone who really cares about you and your connection. And I don't think they've stopped wanting to make it work. But they also seem to recognize that for this connection to work, there will need to be certain changes. Maybe location-wise, maybe habit-wise, maybe coping mechanisms, maybe how they react to conflict or how you react to conflict. There could have been a lot of miscommunications, especially on this person's end, because I think they're not very good at expressing themselves. They're giving me a straightforward energy, but it also feels like they don't quite say everything that they're feeling, like they're not able to. But they're straightforward in the sense that if something feels okay to say, they will just say it without making it too confusing. I think they're just trying to be strong right now about this situation. And I think they're trying to comfort themselves, but it almost feels like the one thing that really made this person feel comfortable and calm and safe is you or your connection. And it feels like this big empty space that they don't quite know what to do with right now. This is someone who really admires you as well. And maybe also they may feel like you deserve better than them. For some of you, they may be feeling very insecure currently. I really feel for this person. This can't be easy to deal with. Though I don't know the full story, of course, but even if they chose to walk away from this situation, or they kind of wanted to stop talking, or whatever it may have been, They really miss you. That part I can tell you for sure. Let's get into the tarot. Let me quickly grab the deck. All right. While we are having a shuffle break, I'll remind you that the giveaway for a 1-question personal reading with me is still going on. If you would like to enter, you can find the information for that in the description box below. And I'm also booking personal readings, also in the description box. But let's get into the tarot and let's see what else we can find out about this person's current energy towards you. We have the Six of Swords in reverse. Yeah, they can't get out of it. There's a lot of overthinking, a lot of analyzing. Well, not even analyzing, not analyzing in the sense of figuring things out, but I think it's just a lot of rumination, a lot of repetitive thoughts. So it doesn't feel entirely helpful. It really feels like they're grieving or mourning the loss of this connection. We have the Five of Pentacles. I think they feel very lonely as well. They could be dealing with a lot of anxiety right now, or a lot of intrusive thoughts. Could be having some mood swings as well. I think it's just difficult for them to cope because it feels like they didn't expect things to turn out this way. We have the Queen of Pentacles, and it really feels like they're looking to you to give them a sense of safety. But there is also recognition that they need to work on themselves or change something, but at the same time, it feels like they don't feel quite brave enough for that yet. For some of you, this person could have said, they could have told you that they need to work on themselves and that's why you need to separate. But even if they've said this, I think they are afraid of what's to come. They may have tried to put on a brave face, but I think they are scared of going through this phase away from you. And it doesn't have to be forever. You may have agreed on taking a break, and just because you may be separated now, it doesn't mean that everything is 100% over. That part will be different depending on your situation. I don't really want to comment on that because we're only looking at their current energy. But right now, they're having a very difficult time coping. We have Temperance in reverse. Sagittarius energy could be significant. We have the Six of Cups in reverse. There's that nostalgia. I heard, where have the times gone? Baby, it's all wrong. Where are the plans we made for two? It's what song is this? It's Payphone. Haven't heard that one in a while. It's Payphone by Maroon 5. We have the King of Pentacles. No, we continue from the right. That feels right to me. We have the Emperor. Aries energy could be significant. How similar are these cards? I just realized. We have the Ace of Pentacles. I heard now it's time to be someone else. This is giving me the sense that for some of you, you could have separated because you both needed to kind of grow in your own direction. And you may have chosen to do this on your own completely without a partnership or without a connection, especially if this connection wasn't fully grounded at the time of this realization. This won't be the case for every single one of you, but it almost feels like this person is now going to have to see what version of themselves that they become. But it also feels like they are very much mourning the loss of a version of the version of themselves that they were in this connection. So it really feels like a separation where there is a big recognition that things have to change, that things will be different if you see each other again, or if you come together again. There is recognition and acknowledgement that what is done, what's happened has happened. Can we clarify the Five of Pentacles, please? I'm hearing, I wish I could turn back the time. I wish I had control over time. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it really feels like a case of I have to go my own way to work on myself. And this could have been you that said this too. Or for some of you, this could be your energy. Take these messages however they resonate with you, but for some of you, it really feels like a case of, I can't do this in a partnership, I need to do this on my own. And this doesn't mean that we can't heal in partnerships or grow or work on ourselves, but it comes down to a choice sometimes, a decision that we have to make because we think it's best for our own well-being. But it doesn't mean that it's an easy decision to make, and it doesn't mean that the aftermath is easy either. We have the Ace of Wands in reverse as well. A part of this person wants to move forward and kind of just get to know themselves better. Just themselves. But at the same time, feels like the rest is terrified. For some of you, this could have been a codependent connection, or a connection where this person saw a potential of codependency. Is there anything else that we're missing? Otherwise, we will move on to the channeled messages. Bottom deck energies I stopped shuffling is the Ace of Swords in reverse. So I do think they are kind of in murky waters right now. Just trying to figure out what direction to head in and how to deal with their emotions, how to sift through them, how to sit with them. I think this person is heartbroken, essentially, by the circumstances or by how this situation played out. We have you intimidate me. Approaching you now may seem very scary to this person. That's mainly what I'm getting with this. I can't stop thinking about the past. It hurts me more than you know. Well, let me read the one in my hand first. I had a dream about you last night, and we have my energy is focused on something else, which I think is them trying to focus on their own self. I want to see where this situation goes. I'm not the person I used to be. There. Something about mourning a past version of themselves. Do you think about me? And I'm trying to let you go. And I hurt, but I can't. Bottom deck energies, I'm trying my best to figure this out. I think this is just the best summary of this energy, is that they are trying to figure it out. Let's get you some advice. We have growth. I want to expand my consciousness and my awareness. It feels like maybe you've both had to prioritize yourselves, or this situation played out in a way where there was an amicable decision, and an amicable decision that neither of you wanted to have to make. That's kind of what it feels like. Like there's a lot of understanding for each other, but there's also a lot of grief, a lot of pain, a lot of longing. But it feels like maybe you're both trying to accept the situation for what it is. Perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. It feels like now is the time for both of you to build yourselves up and to get to know yourselves better, to connect with yourselves more. This is kind of similar to pile one in some aspects, so I'm wondering maybe if these are counterparts for some of you. Like one of these piles is you and the other one is this person, or it's just this person at different time points. But if you didn't feel called to pile one, just ignore this. But I'm just mentioning in case some of you were stuck in between two piles or something. We have discipline. I can accomplish what I set my mind to. Is this the same? I guess this is very important that it comes through right now. Bottom deck energy is worry. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. That is true, though I know it's difficult to shake it off. And that it is a whole lot easier said than done to not worry about things. But essentially, when we worry about things, we're only making ourselves feel bad in the moment, in the present, about something that hasn't happened yet. And something that maybe is outside of our control. So if you are worried about the future of this connection, where it might go, what might happen next, I think it's important to remind yourself that you are in the present. You're here right now. You have control over this moment, but not the future right now, because it's not happening. It's not there. But you can choose what to focus on in this moment, and then deal with the future when it's in your present. We also have loneliness. I know that I am never alone. I think you are very, very connected to this person, and I think maybe you both still feel this connection very strongly. if you miss this person, know that I'm pretty sure they really miss you too. It feels like you both want the best for each other. It feels very bittersweet, this energy. We have adversity. I accept that challenges are the best way to learn. And bottom deck energy is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. And this is not to say that this person didn't appreciate the connection you had, because I really don't think that's the case at all. But for me, this just confirms that there is grief in this person's energy towards you right now about this situation. And it's okay to feel anything that comes through, whether it's grief, guilt, fear, worries, pain, anger, frustration. You have to feel whatever comes through. You have to just accept that the feelings are there, because they're not going to go away just because you're looking away from them. So allow yourself to feel anything that you need to feel for as long as you need to feel them. And don't judge yourself for anything that comes up. We all have different ways of dealing with pain or difficult emotions. There's no right or wrong way. There's no set time limit to how much you can feel of one thing. So if this is a situation that happened a while ago and you're still feeling grief over it, that's perfectly okay. Everything in your own time. And on this note, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile twos. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in one of the other piles or in another reading altogether. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you lots of love. Take care, and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile threes, and welcome to your reading. We're starting with some oracle cards that I already pulled for you, and then we'll also look at this one, but I'm keeping it for last. So to start off your reading, we have 4th house roots. Cancer energy could be significant. We also have earth element stability. Capricorn, Virgo, or Taurus energies are also coming through. We have take time to breathe out. Nothing will come of this situation. We have number 16, hope, which was trying really hard to reverse itself. Just to remind myself. We have the 3rd house, Gemini energy, 12th house, Pisces energy. We have anxiety, and we have consciousness. With this 4th house card, this person feels incredibly drawn to you right now, to the point where it almost feels like an intoxicating energy, maybe bordering on a little bit of obsessive as well, but they're trying to not have hope. This is someone who knows that they messed up big time, possibly in a way where they can't really return this situation to the way it was before, because a lot has changed. Maybe your perspective has changed. Maybe they feel that your feelings have changed towards them. And with this earth element, this person is trying to appear strong. They're trying to appear kind of unbeatable and unreadable. And it feels like they have their guards up, but the reason why they have their guards up so high is, I think, because they feel very vulnerable. They feel weakness in themselves, which I don't think they are taking very well. I think they really value how they are perceived, and they may present themselves in a very specific light, and they may be okay only with being perceived in that light, in the narrative that they write, rather than having people think negative things about them, or having people think that they're sad or weak, or that they're having a difficult time. I think this is someone who just wants to be seen as strong and like they are in control. But in this situation, they are not in control. It feels like the dynamic has shifted in a way that they don't like. But this is also telling me that maybe the dynamic here was not very equal. It wasn't very reciprocated in the past of this connection. But it almost feels like it's shifted in a way where this person feels like you're winning and they're losing, which is maybe not the best way to look at a connection, a friendship, a relationship, whatever this may have been. It feels very unbalanced, and it also feels like this person was okay with it. And like maybe you had had enough, or you confronted them and they chose to ignore what you said, or they didn't take your perspective into account. There's something very narrow about their perspective, and also something very stubborn, something almost unchangeable, because they decided that it's going to be unchangeable, that they are right and they're not going to listen otherwise. It's not your responsibility to try to prove to this person that your perspective is valid too. And it's not okay if this person has made you feel like your feelings, your account of the situation is not valid. They don't get to decide that. You can't control how this person perceives the situation, but they also can't tell you what to feel. So if this person has kind of given you a different narrative of the situation and has tried to confuse you, know that you know your truth, you know how you felt, you know how you experienced the situation, not them. So don't let anyone tell you how to feel, because it almost feels like this person may have a little bit of a manipulative streak, or just a way of trying to get things that they want with no compromise, just the entire thing with no compromise on their end, even if that means that you need to compromise for them to accommodate them. This feels like separation energy, or the aftermath of a big conflict between the two of you. And it feels like this person is running from taking responsibility or facing any further consequences. So if you try to confront them and offer to patch things up even, it feels like they may have rejected on the grounds that they don't want to take responsibility, they don't want to be held accountable, they don't want the situation to change. So it feels like they may have closed themselves off to communication, but this person is still longing for the connection, for the version of your connection that maybe only served them. They feel kind of left out of your energy, because I think they're very, very drawn to your energy, possibly because maybe you have a very compassionate, kind, gentle soul, very giving, very forgiving, very genuine. And it feels like they were just so attracted to that, and that they are, but they're not able to match that energy. But they still want it. Like they want your energy, but they're not able to reciprocate. There is acknowledgement that the ball is in their court, but it also feels like they still expect you to do something to change the situation. And I think this comes from a very stubborn place of not wanting to be the one to cave, not wanting to be the one who couldn't stay apart from you, even though I think they are struggling. And I do think they miss you. But it also feels like they're not really willing to show up in the way that you deserve and in the way that you may want them to. Let's look at what this says. I keep forgetting looking at these cards. Tune into the subtle and divine force within me, and you shall sense the subtle and divine force within yourself and all living things. Over the coming days, there is a heightened sense of spiritual connection with Isis, goddess of motherhood, magic, and fertility. It could be that your energy recently got even more irresistible to this person. And I think you've really embedded yourself in their subconscious, like in their mind in general. With this 12th house, they could be having dreams or nightmares about this situation. It feels like they're haunted by this. Not by their own actions. It doesn't feel like it's coming from a place of regret, but it feels like it's coming from a place of, why couldn't I make this situation work? Why couldn't I get what I wanted? Why won't pile 3 listen to me? It feels like it comes from a place of frustration and anger and an anxiety of being found out. This person is aware of the mismatch between the image that they paint of themselves to other people and who they really are and how they are coming off. But it also feels like they are able to convince themselves on such a high level that after a while it becomes easy to ignore the mismatch. And it becomes easier for them to convince other people or to show up as this masked version of their own self. I think this person may have struggles with having empathy for other people. And it is not your responsibility to try and consistently explain how you're feeling to this person. It feels like they've made a choice to just take their own self into account and to fully prioritize themselves, and it just feels like that's not a match to your energy. In the end, you decide what matches your energy. But from the way I'm picking up on this situation, it doesn't feel like this person is in a place with themselves where they're able to match that kind of energy, where they're able to give to you as much as you're willing to give to them, or you were willing to give to them. Let's get into the tarot. I'm just going to take a sip of my coffee too, because I feel a little bit of a knot in my throat, and I feel that in readings, especially when, unless I'm sick, which I'm not right now, but I feel that in readings, especially when someone has a difficult time expressing themselves honestly or openly, and I feel like that is the case with this person as well. And while we're on the shuffle break, I will also remind you that the giveaway for a 1-question personal reading with me is still going on. It ends on the 11th of November, but if you're watching this video before then, you can still enter. All you have to do is comment on this video or any of the other videos I posted since the beginning of the giveaway. You can find all the information on that and on personal readings in general in the description box below. And I will actually take a second because my throat is really bugging me, and I'll be right back. All right. I hope that is all sorted now. I'm gonna give this one last shuffle and then let's see. This person's, we have the Ace of Wands. And it was reversed when it first flipped. So I feel like this person is quite hot and cold in their energy. Apparently it was not done. So my throat feels a bit scratchy now, but I was saying, I think this person, they're appearing quite hot and cold. So they may text you and then when you reply they may just not reply back or something along those lines, like very mismatched, unpredictable behavior. But it also feels like it's all fitted in a predictable pattern. Like you may know they're going to reach out to you again, even if they say they won't. Or I think you can see through this person. I think you see through them, no matter what mask they may be wearing or how they may try to show up. Or like you're coming to see them for who they are. You're coming to see their actions for what they are, rather than the potential of who they could be. Because to be that potential, they need to choose it. And it's not on you to make them choose it. We have the Ace of Swords, we have the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Swords in reverse. They may act like they've moved on from this situation, but they definitely have not. I think there's still rumination. I think there's still anxiety. I think there is still a lot going on in their headspace about this connection. They are very attracted to you with this Queen of Pentacles energy. There is even a little bit of envy, which I don't think they would accept if you ask them. I don't think they would even admit this to themselves, but there seems to be a bit of envy coming through towards you in their energy. Envy about where you are. We have the Magician in reverse. They may try to convince themselves that they don't care, but I think this is because they are terrified of the implications of caring about something that has been lost. That's more so what it feels like to me. We have Gemini and Virgo energy with the Magician as well. They feel like this situation is out of their control right now, and I think that's something that really bothers them. Can we clarify? Thank you. We have the Six of Cups. Something about children. For some of you, they may have trauma from childhood that kind of made them show up cold and detached in connections. That won't be the case for every single one of you. And I'm not telling you this as an excuse for this person or to justify their behavior, but I'm telling you this as a possible explanation, and that it is not in your control how this person behaves, and it's not your responsibility to correct them in that sense either. They have to take responsibility for their own healing. They are responsible for how their trauma projects on to other situations. And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to mess up sometimes. But then what it comes down to is whether you take responsibility for it, for your own actions, and responsibility for your well-being, or whether you choose to ignore it and repeat the same things. We have the Two of Pentacles in reverse. And for some of you, I feel like this person may choose to repeat the same cycles, even though a part of them recognizes that it's just the same behaviors, the same cycles. We have the Devil in reverse. There is something very controlling about their energy, something also quite stubborn and a little bit obsessive. I think for some of you, this person may be a little bit obsessed with convincing you to see them how they want to be seen. Can we clarify the Six of Swords in reverse? I heard, don't tell my friends. So maybe this person is scared that other people will judge them for how they showed up in this connection for some of you. We have the Knight of Cups in reverse. I do think they're overwhelmed and kind of acting from a very emotionally charged space, even if they appear very detached, because I don't think they're emotionally detached at all. I think they're actually very vulnerable right now. As a result of how this situation played out, they could have really hurt you in this situation or deceived you in some way, or just, they may have just not matched your energy in a way that was very damaging to the connection, and maybe to you as well. This can't be an easy energy to deal with. At least the way it's coming through to me now, it's quite heavy, so I hope you're able to give yourself a lot of compassion and a lot of love as you process this. I'm not telling you to act one way or another in terms of how you should, like, how you should proceed in this situation with this person. But I do think it's important that no matter what you do, you approach your own self from an angle of understanding and compassion and kindness. Because that's the energy that you deserve. We have, I can feel you moving on, which probably also makes you even more attractive to this person. They may feel a bit challenged by it. We have, I am unsure of my feelings for you right now. I am afraid of change. I'm sorry I kept you in the dark. Will you forgive me? I don't want to let you go. sidebar here for a second. I feel like this is someone who could potentially tell you what they think you would like to hear to get their way, even if they are not actually standing behind their own words. I'm also just going to quickly fix the camera because I realized it was a bit wonky. Okay. But of course you know your situation and this person way better than me. So you'll be the best judge. I'm trying my best to figure this out. I'm not sure of anything anymore. And I think something else flipped. Oh, I'm terrified of losing you. Because I think you gave them a lot of comfort, a lot of acceptance, a lot of nurturing energy that they can't get anymore. Bottom deck energy is you don't listen to me, I don't feel heard. It feels like you do listen to them, but you see between the lines, like you hear things they don't want to tell you. Almost, like not literally, but like you can kind of intuitively understand what they're really saying or why they're really saying things. And to them, it may be frustrating that you just won't believe them. Or like you see between the lines, or you know or understand them more than they would want. Let's get some advice. My throat is getting a little bit tingly again, so I feel called to mention, if there is something you want to express to this person that you've been holding back, I think you should. Or if you don't feel comfortable expressing it to this person, or you have no way of expressing your feelings or your thoughts or your perspective, I think it's important to find some kind of outlet for it. Or if you feel like you'll never tell them, or they won't understand, or you've told them and they haven't listened or taken your perspective into account, then you just have to accept that this person will believe what they will do what they want to do, that it is not your responsibility to make sure that they do the right thing. And maybe that is a weight off your shoulders as well, that it's not your fault things turned out the way that they did. And it's okay to have mixed feelings too. You can still have love, but you can still be angry at them. You can still be frustrated, but still love them, but still feel grief. It's okay if you just feel a lot of things at once. There's no right or wrong way to feel. Then we have love. I didn't even realize. I commit to the practice of seeing the good in all things. For me, I just want to say that I hope you're able to notice and see all the love that is around you, not just romantic love, but all kinds of love. You may be feeling a bit disconnected from the things around you or from the people around you, which is okay. And if you need to take time for yourself, absolutely do that. But if you're seeking more connection, it could help to push yourself a little bit, to maybe hang out with your friends, or to make new friends, or to go to a bar and meet some new people, or to Go out into nature and connect with the trees, with everything around you. I think love is everywhere. We just need to develop a good eye to see it. We have Judgment. I understand that everyone has their own unique path and challenges. Again, this ties back to understanding that this person's actions are not your responsibility. And we have Freedom. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. In the end, after you feel your emotions, you decide what to hold on to, what to focus on, and what to release after you take what you can from them. So I'm not saying don't feel your emotions. Absolutely feel all of your emotions, anything that comes through, with no judgment. But also remember that there will come a time to let them go. And it may be 1 year, it may be 1 day, it may be 1 week, it may be 1 month. But there will be a time to allow yourself to accept the situation for what it is, accept your feelings for what they are, and allow yourself to have peace. The peace of not having to control outcomes or control situations. Although this is a lot easier said than done, holding on to toxic feelings won't poison the person that hurt you, but eventually it will poison you. Is there any other advice that wants to come through? I think this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile threes. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in one of the other piles or another reading altogether. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you lots of love. Take care and bye. Hello, my beautiful pile fours, and welcome to your reading. We're starting with some oracle cards first. I'm gonna leave this one for last, but I already pulled some more oracles. So let's see. We have number 25, first house, the body, Aries energy could be significant. We have number 43, lunar eclipse change, Cancer energy could be significant. We have descendant. We also have ascendant, technically, so something to keep in mind. We have a void, of course. We have number 15, gratitude. Conclusions are within reach, full moon eclipse. If you're watching this at the time that I'm filming this, it's the 9th today, I believe. So we had a full moon eclipse yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't remember anymore. I just moved, so I've just been doing moving stuff. I feel a bit disconnected from everything else. But yes, this time essentially could be significant. That's what I was gonna say. This time could be significant for this connection. We have luck is on your side, a new moon in Sagittarius. We have ghost, and we have happiness. I see this energy playing out in one of two ways. So I will say them both, and you can see if one of these situations resonates with you. The first is, this is someone that you are with, that you are currently seeing or in a relationship with, whatever it may be. But your connection is not exactly where they would want it to be. There seem to be some frustrations, some obstacles, maybe some mild arguments. But essentially, this is someone who very, very, very much cares about you. And the other scenario I see is this being an ex that kind of just faded into the background of your life. But an ex that never really forgot about you and never really gave up on this connection. Who was not happy with where things are either. So this could be a case of a reunion or just a union going through a rough patch. But you make this person very happy. I'm going to switch to present tense now, and treat this as if you are with this person. But if something specific comes through for the X scenario, I will also mention it. I just don't want to overcomplicate this, so I will stick to present tense. But it feels like this person feels that they have disappointed you in some way. Maybe they promised something and they couldn't follow through. It feels beyond their control a little bit, or like they perceive it to be beyond their control, but they still hold themselves responsible for it. This is someone who wants to match your energy, someone who wants to provide, someone who wants to protect, and someone who feels that they receive the same energy from you. It feels very reciprocated, it feels very mutual in that sense. And this person is absolutely enchanted by you. I'm really drawn to how both of these figures have so many like sparkles going around them. And I think you just shine differently to this person. They just see you in a light where they haven't really seen anyone else. Like, you have the spotlight, this person's attention, their interest, it's all on you. And with this ghost, I'm also getting that this person feels like they can see through you or feel your moods very easily. So even if you're not very easy to read or very expressive with how you're feeling, I think this person has gotten to know you on a level, or they feel so connected to you that they feel like they can read you. I also just saw 444, and 4 for me is a number of safety. It's about foundations. It's about roots because of the 4th house. And again, Cancer energy could be significant. But the significance of the 4th house in this context is that I think this person sees you in their future, and they're willing to take risks and opportunities to make that happen. For some of you, this could be something like accepting a job offer, or quitting their job and starting something else, or quitting their job and not working at all. Or it could be traveling somewhere, or it could be taking a risk to reach out to you after a long time. It could be taking a risk to ask a friend about you. It could be whatever it may be. It could be sending you 100 roses to your door out of the blue after having not spoken for months. Whatever it may be, this person wants to take a chance. They want to take a risk. And this is someone who understands that relationships come with ups and downs. It's never a straight line. It's always ups and downs and wiggles. They understand that. And if you've had disagreements, these disagreements or these pauses or these obstacles, they're not making this person scared. I mean, let me take that back. They may be scared, but I think they also have the courage to face any obstacle that comes your way, because they feel very connected to you, and I'm hearing united. Now I'm just thinking of the United Nations for absolutely no reason, but maybe it's significant to someone in some way. But essentially, this is someone who, they want to stick by your side. They're not happy with how things are currently. It feels like they could be better. Even if there isn't something big that is wrong in the connection, this person feels like it could be better, it could be more, it could be, you know, they could get you more things, or they could kiss you more, or they could hold you more. I think they want to have open communication with you, and they're not afraid of what they might find. I think they're willing to just embrace any challenge and face any challenge that comes with this connection because they really, really, really care about you. And I think this person sees you for who you are. It doesn't feel like they've kind of idealized you. It doesn't feel like they've fallen in love with an idealized version. But like they've fallen in love with you. And I just paused because I thought to myself, should I be saying love? And then I took a moment and I said, and I thought, yes, I should be saying love. Even though I don't want to speak for anyone else, if you haven't, you know, said it to each other, I think this person is falling in love with you or is in love with you. But it is up to them to let you know. So act surprised. Well, not surprised, I guess. You would already know. But anyway, let's see what this card says. A smile fills your heart with longing. Through the magnetism of divine love, you merge with another and love becomes an all-embracing thought. By a touch, a word, or a glance, love heals, unites. I didn't know this word was there. I don't know why it's sticking out to me, like united, being united. It's sticking out to me a lot. Transforms and transfigures all things. This is your season of love, a time of positive transformation, a time of happiness. They want to bring more love your way. They want to make you happy. I think you make them really happy. Even if you're not like trying to make them happy in particular, I think they are just very happy with you and in your presence and in your energy and getting to know you and getting to be around you and getting to see you and getting to hold you and getting to hang out and getting to laugh with you. All the little moments, I think they all mean a lot to this person. And if this is an ex, this could also relate to like this energy, this happiness. It could also relate to the past of this connection and what the potential that this connection has in the future as well. This person feels very lucky to have met you. And they want to keep meeting you halfway. Let me just grab the tarot deck. I don't know why I didn't prepare all of them and bring them all here, but all right, we have it. And while we are shuffling, while I'm shuffling, I will give you the reminder that the giveaway is still going on. If you'd like to enter, all you have to do is comment down below, plus on any other video I posted since the beginning of the giveaway, which should be just a couple of videos back, I think. And personal readings are also available. If you'd like to book with me, all of the information for that is also in the description box below. So let's see. We have the Page of Swords, the Emperor. I heard, do I not tell you enough? For some of you, I think this is someone kind of playful and like, I don't know, their energy is coming through playful and like humorous, but also very, very warm. It is incredibly warm. It's like the sun. We have the Two of Swords in reverse. But I don't think that's necessarily the kind of person that they are. I think it's just how you make them feel. So warm. and so kind of like, I don't know, blessed. That's the word that's coming to mind. We have Temperance in reverse. We have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. I heard we have time to work everything out. No rush. I'm not going anywhere. This is someone who's not going to give up on you or this connection. And I think, especially if you are in contact with this person, I think they must have made this obvious to you, or they feel like they've made this obvious to you. But maybe it's hard to see sometimes, not because of how this person's acting, but maybe because of past experiences that you've had in other situations where people may have not followed through or changed their mind. But this person, for one, I think they're very decisive and possibly quite stubborn as well. And one good thing about stubborn people is that they won't give up. They won't give up their side of the argument, but they also won't give up on you. That's how this energy is coming through to me. It's quite wholesome, but it's also very fun. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm quite enjoying this energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I heard, I wish you could see yourself how I see you. For some of you, this person, you may have shared certain insecurities with this person or shown them certain insecurities that you have. And I think they just want to reassure you that you are incredible in every meaning of the word. This person is, they adore you. Like, simply, they just adore you. We have the Nine of Cups coming out as well. I think there is also a little bit of a fantasy energy here. This person might, like, think about you quite a lot when you're not with them. Like, about the feel of your skin. Especially if you've been intimate with them before, I think that keeps their mind busy quite a lot too, I have to say. We have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, and we have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. For some of you, this person might feel like they will eventually need to sacrifice something or risk something. And they may have a bit of anxiety around this, especially if what they have to give up is something that has been very stable in their life, like some kind of career maybe, or maybe moving to another country is on the table. It doesn't feel like it's happening now necessarily, but it does feel like this person is predicting something that may happen. Something that they're going to have to give up, and they're willing to give it up for this connection. But it's also bringing them, like, it's also making them worry a little bit, because change can be scary. But they also feel like it's going to be worth it. For some of you, this person may currently feel a bit inadequate, especially financially, if you are in a better place than them, or if there's a big age difference between the two of you, and especially if you are older than them. They may have certain insecurities that come up around this, about feeling like less mature or less stable than you. But it's not coming through as like envy or anything. It's just, I think it just comes from a place of wanting to match your energy completely. Oop. We have, this isn't over, there is more to come. I know I made a mistake, forgive me. I'm interpreting this, Okay. I didn't even realize this was out, but this kind of just connects this entire message for me. We have, I wish I could take back the things I said. How did we get here? And I can feel you moving on. So a little bit of a mixed bag, but I think this is because we have some exes here and some new people here. For one, if you've had an argument with your current person, I think this is them taking a step back and admitting that maybe they've been a bit too stubborn, or, you know, maybe they just were being very emotional about it. And they had time to think about it and reconsider, and they want to compromise or they want to talk about it. But if this is an ex, I think this entirely relates to the previous cycle of your connection. I'm unsure of my feelings for you right now. I think this also ties back to the ex energy. I heard it's wrong. If not the ex energy, because there is so much determination that it wouldn't quite make sense to me if this person is really unsure of their feelings, but it would make sense to me if they're unsure of certain aspects of the situation, especially of this predicted thing that they have to give up. So I think it's more so a case of not knowing how they feel about the situation rather than about you. And for some of you, maybe they're having difficulty differentiating between their feelings for you versus their feelings for the situation, especially if this is kind of like a point where they need to make a decision. We have, I don't want to hold you back. Maybe for some of you, this person they're predicting that they're gonna have to make a decision for the good of both of you. If this is an ex, it's also possible that they're deliberating on reaching out or not, because it may disturb you. Like, it may disturb your life, your current setup, your stability. I'll still clarify this message because I'm curious. Because I understand where all of these are coming from, but I just want to make sure I'm getting this the right way. You are the only one for me, no one else but you. Yeah, so I think this relates back to the situation and the uncertain parts of the current situation that you are in with them. And we have I daydream about you. Yes, and fantasize. This one was also sticking out, so I'll also show it to you. I feel really good around you. But I do want to clarify the I am unsure of my feelings for you right now message. Okay, half the deck fell. I think I saw the sun while it was all falling down, but yeah, I did. Here it is. And the sun for me can signify love. And I cut the deck again and we have the Empress. And on the other end, we have Death in reverse, which is telling me that it's not you that they're unsure about. It's the changes that they're going to have to make, because change isn't always easy. And it can be scary. So there is our confirmation, I think. I'll just give this 2 more shuffles to see if there's anything we're missing. Okay, I'll do 3. Okay. All right. Let's get you some advice now. So many ambulances today. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I think it was also in the background for like 2 of the other piles. Maybe this person is an EMT or a doctor or someone that works in a hospital. We have relationships. I'm attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Happiness. I'm aware that being happy means that I am on the right path. Not always. You can also feel other emotions and still be on the right path, because sometimes the right thing to do is not the easy thing to do, or the fun thing to do, or the thing that makes you happy in that moment. But I guess this is, I would say, I don't know how I feel about that particular message, but take it as it resonates with you. I'm not saying you shouldn't be happy when you're on the right path, but I think you can also feel other things. It's not just happiness. Usually you can be on the best path for yourself and still have ups and downs. We have perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to, which I think is the energy this person is in about, like, you. But again, it's still natural to have doubts, especially if they see themselves taking a risk, and I dropped all the cards. And we have honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. I think you can expect the full truth from this person as well. But if you've been having difficulty with miscommunications, especially, or seeing eye to eye about something, just talk to them. This person's not gonna like bullshit you or just say things for the sake of saying them. I think they are kind of moving to a place where they're, I don't know, where they've taken some time away from things and they're able to reconcile your differences in perspective, or reconcile any argument you may have had. This goes especially for those of you who are with this person or are seeing this person. And having arguments doesn't imply that this connection is gonna fail. No one has a perfect relationship. The best relationships are also not perfect. Healthy relationships are also not perfect. So I think it's important to keep it in mind that it's normal to have disagreements. It's normal to have pauses sometimes as well. And every connection is unique, so there's no like set list that it needs to adhere to. And bottom deck energy also is grief. I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it, which I think is this whole X energy that is coming through as well. And on this note, this is all I have for you, my beautiful pile fours. Let me know if this resonated. If it did not, there could be a message for you in another reading or one of the other piles. So if you feel called to do so, definitely do check those out. I'm sending you lots of love. Take care and bye.